What it do, YouTube? MJM for life here. Finally back again, bringing you another video. Sorry that I've been for the lack of videos. It's just been extremely busy, but that doesn't matter because we're back now and we've got another installment of how to beat the current meta, featuring a couple of cards. The first card, obviously, is going to be Dark Samorg. Now, this is a dark winged beast monster, 2700 attack, 1000 defense, and it has a bunch of effects. But the main effect that we're worried about is the fact that your opponent cannot set cards while this card is face up on the field. Now, if you think about the top four decks in the meta right now, the decks that this would really impact are going to be Mermails and Evil Swarms. Now, Mermails, if they have a sort of decent hand, not an extremely broken hand, if they have a decent hand, they're probably going to go set land, set Abyss Sphere, and then next turn go for their shenanigans. So with this, if you go first turn Samorg against them, that prevents them from doing that. So if they don't open like a, Abyss Deus or Dragoons or, a way to, get their deck going, they're going to have to set cards and then go from there. So that will prevent them from doing that. Now, Evil Swarms, they're a control-based deck, so they're going to want to set a lot of traps and things of that nature. So this will prevent them from doing that. Now, with the Evil Swarms, you have to keep in mind that, they can just go for Maestro, flip this face down and attack over it. Now, as far as Spellbooks and E-Dragons, E-Dragons really don't care, but this card, this isn't my Spellbook stopper deck, because I make usually E-Dragon focused deck, so this is a Spellbook focused deck. And now this card, in combination with a trap card, will really completely shuts down Spellbooks. Anti-Spell Fragrance is the card that I'm speaking of, and this card, basically, if they have to set spell cards before they activate them. So now what this does, in combination with Samorg, as you know, it locks them out, so they can't use spell cards at all. Now, if you go first turn Samorg, flip up Spell Fragrance against Spellbooks, what can they do? They can't. Their whole deck is spells, and even if they did run traps, they still can't use them. So what are Spellbooks going to do against this? They can't do anything, and they don't have a monster that they can easily summon that's going to get over a 2700 attacker. And they could go for High Priestess, Revealed Priestess, but then there's no spells in their grave, so they still can't use Priestess effect to get rid of you. Priestess is only 2500 attack, and with that, most even Spellbooks players now aren't even playing Priestess, so they really can't do anything against you. So if you go Samorg, Spell Fragrance, your turn, it's good game. They cannot do anything. The next card we're going to be focusing on in this deck is Horus the Black Flame Dragon, level 6. Now, this card is unaffected by spells, so even if they go for that Hax, that's Jowgen set Fate, you don't even care, because you're going to normal summon Horus, so they can't even fade him, even if they could. Even if it mattered, they still couldn't fade him because he's unaffected by spells. And then when you attack over a monster and destroy by battle, Jowgen's measly 1300 defense, then you can get a free Horus to Black Flame level 8. And what this does is any spell card that's activated during either player's turn, you can negate that activation and destroy it. So that means you're going to say no to every single spell they activate. Judgment, Fate, Secrets, Master, Power. No, you get nothing. Now, the thing you do have to worry about is if they are playing the Priestess build, they can still just reveal 3 special summon Priestess and then, banish one to pop you. So you're going to have to be worried. You're going to have to be aware of that. But as I said before, a lot of players aren't even playing Priestess anymore because they feel like it's more times than not, it's often a dead draw, which I don't understand. I feel like Priestess is too good not to play, but some players are playing that. But another thing that's good is kind of like a soft core lock is if you get Horus and Dark Samorg together, it's kind of the same thing as the other one. So we'll get into the deck in a couple of seconds. Alright, so I'll mouse over the cards quickly, show you them, and then briefly explain them. So 2 Blaster, 2 Samorg, 3 Veiler, 3 Horus level 6, 1 Horus level 8, 2 Maxi, triple Hanzo, 1 Dark Hole, 2 Lance, 2 Gold Sark, 1 Heavy Storm, triple Mausoleum, 1 Reborn, 2 Duality, 1 Rhoda, 2 7-Star Sword, 3 Terraforming, 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance, 2 Super Transformation, and 2 Vanity's Emptiness. Now, the side deck here is an actual legitimate side deck, so we'll get into that right now. We've got 1 Maxi, 3 Puppet Plant, 3 Reptilian Vashki, 1 Forbidden Lance, 3 Breakthrough Skill, 3 Soul Drain, and 1 Vanity's Emptiness. Now, the extra deck is Catastor, a bunch of rank 8s that might be crucial, and then some rank 4s. These won't happen often, but they are situational, and they're just there, for certain situations. So now I'll go to explain the cards briefly. And you'll see why I chose some of the cards that I chose and what reasons I chose them. So Blaster here is going to be your searcher. He searches out Horus level 6. So with Gold Sark and 7-Star Sword, you'll be able to search out for Horus level 6, 7-Star Sword, banish Blaster, draw 2, search Horus, or just banish them straight from the deck with Gold Sark and then search Horus that way. Samorg, Veiler, and Horus should be obvious for why they're in the deck. Maxi, he's here there just for extra draw support against special summoning decks, and E-Dragons, extra support against E-Dragons, because this deck kind of has a bad matchup game 1 against E-Dragons, I would say. So that's why Maxi's there. Hanzo, because super transformation, Hanzo will basically searches out some more, gets a free some more. Dark Hole is obvious. Forbidden Lance is just there for extra support, so if you don't, open up, you can, go some more, set Lance, that'll give you some extra protection against like a Dark Hole or something, and some more will still be 1900 attacks. I already explained that. Heavy Storm's obvious. Mausoleum is a very, very key card in this deck. Mausoleum and Terraforming. This deck kind of revolves around Mausoleum. If there was a weakness to this deck, it would be that you desperately need either Mausoleum or Terraforming. It's sort of the way that kind of Boojins work, how the Boojins need Yamato. Mausoleum, you need Mausoleum because when you get Horus and Samorg, you're going to have to, this is how you summon them for free because they are normal summonable. So you desperately need Mausoleum. So that's why I have 3 plus 3 Terraforming, because this is the key card of the deck. You have, you can use Hanzo to search out Samorg, but you need Mausoleum to get your Horus out. So you have Reborn to be obvious, Duality, just extra support to get the cards you need. Rhoda, you can go straight into Hanzo there. 7-star sword, already explained that. Obviously, anti-spell fragrance is here because it solidifies the lock with Samorg against the Spellbooks. And you've got Super Transformation, obviously, works with Hanzo, and it's a free Samorg, basically. And then Vanity's Emptiness to go up against, to prevent Priestess, and also works well against E-Dragon, so more E-Dragon support, because this deck kind of has trouble with that. So now Maxi is there, obviously, for extra E-Dragon support, Maxi and Vanities. Puppet Plant is here because if you go up against Spellbooks, you can use Puppet Plant to take their Javelin or take their Spellbook Magician and then tribute that for Horus. So if you don't get Mausoleum, you can use this instead to tribute for Horus. 3 might be too many, but I had room, so why not? Reptilian Vashki is here because this deck really has a hard time against E-Dragons, and especially first turn Dragossack really hurts this deck. So Reptilian Vashki is there to just eliminate Dragossack right off the bat. Reptilian Vashki is the Dragossack killer, and this card will help you buffer that E-Dragon weakness that you have, because this deck can handle E-Dragons, but it's not the best matchup. So now Forbidden Lance is here just for extra support for your Samorg, and if you go up against a trap-heavy deck. Breakthrough Skill is here, more E-Dragon support. This will help you prevent Dragossack from getting out the tokens, because you can deal with the Dragossack by itself, but Dragossack plus 2 tokens is hard for this deck to deal with, so Breakthrough Skill is just for that. And just also more of support basically for decks that aren't really like trap-heavy. Soul Drains for Mermails. And that's it. So we'll get into the video showcasing this deck in a couple of seconds. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, so this is a duel I had against my friend. He's playing Spellbooks. I'm playing my anti-Spellbooks Must Die deck. So he obviously starts off with the hacks, the judgment, the secrets, and he's just going to go off. He's going to go Magician, then he's going to go for Star Hall. So I think that tells me that he has a Master already in hand. So he's going to go Star Hall, and he got the Tower, he's got Master. So I mean, in his mind, he's good to go. And normally, under normal circumstances, I mean, he would be good to go basically. So, no, not so much for me, because this deck is Spellbooks Must Die Turbo, of course. So now he's going to go add his 4 cards, because, Spellbook of Judgment is an incredibly fair and balanced card. So, I mean, adding 4 cards, no big deal. Get a free monster with that. Lock me down, quote unquote. But I'm going to go for Mausoleum, get rid of his field spell, and he's going to decide to banish that with Fate. And I don't know why. Maybe he had the drop on what I was playing, but normally I don't think somebody would normally do that, but it didn't matter because I had a Terraforming in hand, so I kind of planned for that anyway. So now I'm going to go activate Terraforming, go for Horus, and then I'm going to attack over his Javelin because I need him off the field so I can special summon my my Horus level 8. So since I destroyed a monster, I'm able to get a free Horus level 8 from my deck, so I'm going to do that. I don't know why it skipped there, but so now what he's going to do is he's going to activate secrets, and I'm just going to say no. He says okay, like of course not. No. And then he put a counter on Star Hall, and I was like, no, since the activation was negated, you do not get a counter on Star Hall. So you're not going to try and pump up your monster. He's going to try and power. Normal summon Kaiku, go for power. He actually forgot. He meant to put Magician into defense mode. But so I just attacked his Kaiku. I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him, have his Magician since he meant to put it in defense mode. So I'm gonna attack over Kaiku. Plus, Kaiku is more of a threat anyway than Spellbook Magician at this point. So I feel like attacking, Magician, that extra damage isn't really worth it in the long run, in my opinion. He's upset because he can't do anything. So I'm gonna go pay 2,000, be a douchebag, go for Samorg, which I could have done last turn, but I didn't really feel like it. But now I do feel like it, so now he can't set any more cards. He's gonna activate Upstart. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you can have Upstart. I don't mind that. He told me that he was playing the Priestess build. So here he was trying to draw in the Priestess, and he didn't get it. So it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I was like, hello, didn't even matter, bro, because I had Vanities. So as soon as you activate the effect, I'm just gonna chain Vanities, and you won't be able to summon your Priestess. So that was that battle. He offered a rematch, so I'm gonna rematch him here. And since my deck is, you know, a Spellbook counter deck, I really did not need to side anything, so I'm good the way it is. I mean, all I have to do is just draw well, and I'll be fine. So here we go. He again gets the hacks, the secrets. You know, that's the thing about Spellbooks. They're really consistent because of their incredible searchability. That's one thing. You know, I mean, a Spellbook. If you ever watch a Spellbook duel, they all go the same way. It's rare that they draw badly. Now, it is possible because it is Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's rare that they draw badly because everything searches for everything else pretty much. So he's got the hacks again, the judgment, plus the, you know, the spells. And my hand is pretty good. I got another Mausoleum. I have 7-star sword plus blaster, so I'm good. I'm good to go here. So I just gotta hope that he doesn't fate my Mausoleum this time, because I don't have another one this time. So if he fates my Mausoleum, that's gonna be I'm gonna have some problems there. And but you're gonna see in a second that he actually decided not to fate my Mausoleum, and he's gonna go here. He's gonna go Justice this time because he wanted to make sure that he had Priestess in his hand to counteract whatever I was going to do, which was actually a really good play on his part if you really think about it. Now that he knows my deck, he knows that Jalgan really isn't going to hurt me because I'm normal summoning things. He knows that he needs to have Priestess in his hand if he's going to have a chance. Here he's going to use Fate to flip his Magician face down. And that was a good play because he gets a search off of the Magician, and he still has 3 Spellbooks in his graveyard to activate Fate for next turn. So here I'm going to 7-star sword, banish, draw 2, and I draw into a Vanities, and I'm going to get Blaster's effect. So now you see how 7-star sword works in the deck, although I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys know how 7-star sword works, but now I get a free search for Horus. And here's the moment of truth here, because I'm pretty sure that's a Fate. I hope maybe it's a Wisdom, but I'm going to go Mausoleum and then pay 2,000. He doesn't fate me there. He decides to fate me here, and he told me that he didn't want to waste his fate like he did last time. He felt like he wasted his fate, but unfortunately for him, I did have the Forbidden Lance, and that's one of the reasons why I do play Lance in here, is for a situation like this where I need my Samorg to get my Samorg summoned to get off, and I think that was a smart play on his part to wait to fate. I mean, that Lance was kind of, you know, I mean, how could he have seen that coming? So on his defense, I feel like that was a good play. So during the standby phase, I flip up Anti-Spell Fragrance, and now he's going to attempt to reveal 3 to summon Priestess, and I'm going to say Chain, Vanities, and that's that. He cannot do anything, ladies and gentlemen. The game is over. Spellbooks get smashed. He realizes it, and he can't do anything. So he wanted some redemption after this battle. So he's gonna pick his quote-unquote favorite deck. So he decided to play me with E-Dragons. So I'll show you how this deck fares against E-Dragons. So there you see that this is a recording. So I'm going first this time. I won the rock paper scissors. So I'm going to add Hanzo to my hand. So see, this is another way you see how the deck, you know, it has some consistency. You know, I don't have the exact same hand every time, but I'm getting similar results, and that's how you can tell, you know, if the deck is consistent or not. Do you have to have certain cards in order to work, or do you have multiple ways to get these cards? So here I showed you Rhoda and into Hanzo and to set everything and come get me. During his standby phase, I'm gonna activate Anti-Spell Fragrance, then activate some more Super Transformation, get my Samorg out, and come get me, buddy. He's gonna go 7-star sword. I'm like, okay, I'm fine. It's fine. You can have your 7-star sword, draw 2, and then get your blaster search. You know, because that's what I would do if I'm in his situation. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm just waiting for him to reveal and then pay the cost, and then I'm going to chain Vanities. So now he can't do anything. I told him I open broken. I mean, it's pretty much like, if you get this combination off, there's really no deck that can deal with this. I don't think there is a deck that can deal with this, unless there's a deck that has a, you know, straight up a monster that can be 2,700 attack with just off of one summon. I don't know of any deck that can deal with that hand right there. Now this is an example of a hand that's just awful. I mean, I guess it's fair because I opened completely broken. The first couple of games, I wouldn't say that I opened broken, honestly. I say that the last hand I had was broken. The other two hands I had were good hands. They weren't extremely broken hands. And I actually don't even feel bad because he's playing Spellbooks and E-Dragon, so I don't even feel bad about opening broke. And right now he's got the Dragosack hacks going, and as I said, this deck can't really handle the Dragosack. So what I basically do here is I just go for terraforming to get Mausoleum, just to thin my deck a bit. And I mean, that's really all I can do. I mean, you see this hand, I can't do anything. And that's one thing I will say about this deck. If you have a bad hand, there's really no way to play out of it, in my opinion. As he's actually, you know, playing pretty well with E-Dragons. This guy's a pretty good player. So he went out there with using the hand. He goes, he gets as much damage as he possibly can. And I think that was a really good play on his part. What he did there, knowing what he knows about my deck. And again, as I was saying, this deck, when it opens badly, I mean, it opens badly, and it's just hard to play out of it. So that's one thing I would say. And he makes a really good play going for Master Blade, so now I really can't do anything. Then he flips up with Vanities, and that's GG. So I lost that game, but I lost that game to a bad hand, so I really don't feel bad. Plus, I didn't side deck, so now I'm going to side deck in. I'm going to put in the Breakthrough Skills, put in another Vanities, put in another Max C, and put in Vashki. Now I took out the anti-spell fragrances because he doesn't really set anything. I took out the super transformations as well because I didn't really feel like they were going to help me. I was thinking about taking out some more, and then I was counting the cards I was taking out. I was like, okay, now it's even. I just ended up taking out Hanzo because I don't really feel like some more is going to be too terribly important in this game unless I open like I did last time, which I really don't expect. So here I've got Valor plus Maxi. I'm going first. Don't have anything I can summon first turn, but I'm good. I don't really care what he goes for. He can summon all the crap he wants. He's going to go for a Redox here, and I'm just going to chain Max C and let the draw fest begin. And that's one thing I will say about E-Dragon players. They have this like sense of overconfidence. I don't know where it comes from. Like you'll Max C them and they'll just go on and go on and go on. And like, I don't understand why. I'd rather just, you know, go for like Redox, let your opponent get one card, and then let that be that. But no, they're gonna go for the Dragosack, then they're gonna go for the tokens, and it's like, you giving me all these cards, like, why are you doing this? But they're just so confident in their deck, they don't even care. Now here, he told me that he basically just did that extra summon there just because he had Super Rejuve and he wanted to draw as many cards as possible because he felt like, you know, with the Dragosack plus the Tempest, you know, that his deck can handle it. And, you know, I guess in his defense, like, think about this, like, you know, you get Dragosack and plus 4 more cards in hand when you're playing E-Dragons, you really don't have much to fear because if they get out anything you don't like, you can just take it. But here I'm going to go for 7-star Sword because I'm missing Mausoleum, so I mean I drew a bunch of cards, so I figured if I draw 2 more cards, I gotta get it. I mean I have to. Like, it just doesn't. There's just no way I don't get it, and there it goes. So I got a Mausoleum. I get a free Horus as well, so I draw two. It's basically like a +3. So gonna go for Vashki. Just get rid of that Dragosack. Activate the effect. Hope he doesn't have Valor. Even if he does, though, I'd rather him waste the Valor on that than on my Horus, because ultimately it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go for Horus. I'm going to attack over his what's that shit called? Damn, what's that shit? Tempest. Then I'm gonna go damage step. Damage step Lance. So I'm going to be able to special summon a Horus level 8 during the end phase. Then I'm going to set. I actually forgot to attack with Vashki there because I actually was under the impression that when Vashki activates its effect, you can't attack, but I don't think that's true. I think it still can attack, so I forgot to attack there. Because normally a lot of monsters are like that. Actually, not anymore, because Priestess can still activate its effect and attack. So I'm gonna go. I set everything because I have Horus level 8. I don't even care. So I'm gonna go Horus and then flip up Vanities, and then he's gonna go activate Goldsark. I'm not gonna let him have that. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna attack his face down. I'm like, what can you set in E-Dragons? I mean, it's over now. And he can't Space Typhoon me because Horus will say no, and I'm just gonna say no to Goldsark because I don't want him to get a Blaster and then be able to Blaster and pop my shit that way. So I just gotta hope that he doesn't draw a Blaster. Didn't look like he did. So that's a good game. So that's just showcasing this deck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Deuce.